תהיה נשמתם צורה ברחוב, צורה חיים. My father was ירא שמיים. He was יהודי יראת שמיים inside. In the last year he was suffering by the Suri. Baruch Hashem, he was always connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, always thinking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Torah. Baruch Hashem, I have the zchut today to bring the Sefer Torah in his name, and it's by my mother. Baruch Hashem, זה היום עשה השם להסגיר נשמחה בו. You know, the Gemara says, Shulchan says, אדם שהניחו לספר תורה מאבותיו, אף על פי כן צריך לכתוב ספר תורה. What do you mean of that? So the Chiluk bring down that usually people love the new book. New book, it's more expired. If you take your children, you take your son, you give him an old book, he learns with that. But you buy a new book, so you make him happy. I want to show you a proof. When somebody give to the shul new books, everybody coming, first thing they take the new books, new Sidurim. The Sidur was 2 weeks ago, and this came today, everybody jump at the new one. Why? Why? You see, it's obvious. The people love new. They want new. So you have to do from your father and your mother, you need a new one. But there is a knitting different. We say, אלוקי אברהם, אלוקי יצחק וליעקב. Why don't you say, אלוקי אברהם, יצחק וליעקב? Chazal says, why? Because every father of us make a new way in the life. What Avraham do, Yitzchak didn't do. They don't copy. They make a new from themselves. So this is the meaning, אדם חייב אדם לקנות ספר תורה מעצמו. I mean, everybody need writing on ספר תורה. ספר תורה is written in leather. Leather, what's a leather? Oh, cow. Eating in the... You take the leather of the cow, they make in the field, and you welcome it, it becomes Sefer Torah, the holy thing. Even cow, בהמה גסה, you can make Sefer Torah. Every Jewish people can make Sefer Torah. You make your own Sefer Torah. כל אחד צריך לעשות מעצמו ספר תורה חדש. To have a new work in עבודת השם. Everybody have the power. ותן חלקנו בתורתך, everybody have his own חלק, own part in the Torah. כל אחד צריך לכתוב ספר תורה מעצמו, everybody need to write his own ספר תורה. Everybody need to obligate to make himself to new ספר תורה. להיות אדם חדש. This is the מצווה of ספר תורה. כתבו לכם את השירה הזאת. ולמדה את ישראל. עם ישראל ואת תורה is nothing. And ברוך השם, we have the zchut today to bring a new Sefer Torah. And I want to honor of Oelbaum, Shalita, to say a few words for the mitzvah. Chavod.
B'shut yedidi, אבל גוין על צדקה שליטה, בכל הרבנים החשובים, בכל הכל הקודש הזה, ועל הבתים חשוב למלום דתוירה, אוהבי תוירה, חויבי תוירה. מרונם רבונם רבוי סי. מזל טוב, ולבית שמחה סיסו ושמחו בשמחת התוירה, שחיונו וקימונו וגיונו לזמן הזה. Even though we are not actually knowing to say a Brucha Shechiyono, the Shagisari speaks about it, nach some Sefer, but the Hargosha that we feel, Shechiyono v'kimono v'giyono zman hazeh. B'derech klal in Jewish life, we have many simchas, many smachot. Simcha v'bris, you have a bar mitzvah, you have a wedding, you have a chassan, a binyan aben. But all of those simchas are simcha pratiyim, they are individual simchas for that family. And the family invites relatives and friends. But basically it's a simcha of the family who had a baby boy, is making a bar mitzvah, is making a chasana, and they invite their friends. But there's one type of a simcha, Rabotai, where the entire bria, the entire creation is sameach. We say in the tefillah, we say, Yismuch HaShemayim b'sogel haaretz. When is that time when the Shemayim and all the heavens are also b'simcha? When is the time when b'sogel haaretz that also the earth is rejoicing? What type of a simcha that influences the entire world? Not just the family who is celebrating the simcha. But that is simcha satorah. We have a simcha satorah. It is not an individual simcha for the person, even who is bringing in the Sefer Torah, not only for the community, but it is simcha the entire world, Rabbi Sai, is celebrating today. Why? The Chaim of Eloshen revealed to us that if Torah is being learned in one part of the world, is mekayim the entire world. Which means to say that if it would be possible, Lu Yitzuya Rabotai, that there would be no Torah in the entire world, even for 1 second, so the entire world would disintegrate. The entire world would become destroyed. The world cannot exist if there would not be Limud HaTorah at least one place in the world. And if there is Limud HaTorah in one place in the world, that is Mekayim the entire world. So Rabbi Sai, if a Limud HaTorah in one Mukim in the world is Mekayim the entire world, so Simchas HaTorah in one place in the world is a Simcha for the entire world. Because the Koich HaTorah, Rabbi Sai, is mashpia on the entire Bria, and the entire creation. Yitmo Shemayim V'sogel haaretz. Rav Sadka the Morasser has his schut, as he mentioned, to be Hachnasat the Sefer Torah in honor of his parents. Mekayim beferish, what the Gemara says in Kedushin Daf Lamed Aleph, Mechabdoi b'chayov, u'mechabdoi b'moisoi. If you want to be mechabed your parents, Ela'acha Mita Rabotai, what are the greatest oifen you are able to be mechabed your parents? There are many, many things that a person can do. There's no greater way than be mechabed your parents by connecting their neshama to the Torah HaKadoshah. Why? Because there are two nerot, there are two neros. The neshama of a person is called a ner. As it says in Mishnah, Ner Hashem Nishmat Olam. The neshama of a person is called a ner. At the same time also, Ner Mitzvah V'Torah, the Torah is also called a ner. So by combining Rabotai, by bringing in a Sefer Torah, to be mechabed your parents, you are connecting the two nerot. You are connecting the Ner Hashem Nishmat Olam. You're connecting with the Ner Mitzvah V'Torah, and by doing that, it is not just a kovet for now, but being that the Torah is nitzchiyah, the Torah is forever, the nitz kavod that is taking place, mechabed b'chayim, mechabed b'moisei, it will be a kovet which will be the Oelbaum, an eternal kovet. It'll be a kovet forever. This is the tremendous effect when you connect the kibud of the parents to cover that Torah. That cover Torah is something that lasts forever. Torah is nitzchis. In the same way, the schus has now been taking place that this cover now will Bez Hashem be mashpia the ilu nishmosom the oilam vod forever till be as a Mashiach. So I want to tell you, many years ago, we had a Yankel Galinsky, famous Maggid, and he described it and he said, the world today has a tremendous yerida. Unfortunately, the world is getting lower and lower. We see the terrible denigration of society. We see the fallen morals. We see the degradation of society. It's a time, he said, that all the midot have become bottled. There's no such thing as midot anymore. All midot, all character traits. There's no midah anymore. There's no midas, except one midah. Midah can I get midah. That, Rabbi said, that midah still remains. That wherever a person behaves and the way a person conducts himself, that still remains today. All we thought maybe about, there's no decheretz, there's no COVID. We see how the world is turning, but midah keneged midah, some that remains. And he pointed out the following: Choyves Alvovis tells us in Shar Cheshbon HaNefesh that Olam Hazeh and Olam Habo are two contradictory properties. You can't have both. You can't have both Olam Hazeh, you can't have Olam Habo. If you want to have Olam Hazeh, you want to enjoy this world, then you have to be ready to be Mevater and Olam Habo. And if you want to have Olam Habo, then you have to be Mevater and Olam Hazeh. You can't have both. People think they could have both. You cannot have both. You have to make a choice. There's Olam Hazeh that you want, you have to be ready that you're going to lose a chelik of Olam Habo. There's Olam Habo that you want, they have to be ready to give up and to sacrifice Olam Hazeh. And the Lashon of the Chorah Alvovis is like this: Kishem she'i efshel lechaber eish umayim. The same way it is not possible. It's not possible to be mechaber, to connect fire and water to kli echad. Kachi efshel lechaber Olam Hazeh v'Olam Habo. You can't have both. And I want to point out the following. Kedarke b'kodesh, the way he used to speak. Because the Yid was standing on the corner and he was collecting money. Everybody who walked by gave him 50 cents, a half a dollar. He heard that there is another person collecting 2 blocks away. People are giving him $1. People giving him $1. He wanted to find out why is he getting $1. So he goes over to the other person and he asks him, please tell me, I'm not competition for you, I'm over here, you're over there. Why are people giving you $1? What's the secret? He says, can't you see I'm dressed Hasidish? He says, when you dress Hasidish, you get more money. Well, okay, so he goes. Williams where he bought a park and he buys a whole new, big day, Hasidish begodim, different hat, different suit, everything. And it works. People are giving him $1. Then he finds out that Bamish, 10 blocks away, there's somebody else, he's getting $5. $5? Why is he getting $5? He goes and he asks him, he says, you know what, because I'm a ger. People respect a ger. Lahatim is a ger. So he goes back to his corner and puts up a sign, Ani ger, I'm a ger. You're a ger. People give him $5. One more. Then he finds out that at the end of town, there's somebody who's getting $10. $10. Why are you getting $10? He says, I have big yichus. I'm a grandson, he says, of the Ben Ish Chai. He goes back to his corner and writes, I'm a ger and I'm a grandson of the Ben Ish Chai also. He goes. Want to know why people are laughing? He didn't understand. He said to him, if you are a ger, you cannot be a grandson of the Ben Ish Chai. And if you are a grandson of the Ben Ish Chai, you cannot be a ger. Rabbi Yanke Galinsky, if you think you could have Olam Hazeh, you can have Olam Habo, it's like saying I'm a ger and I'm a grandson of the Ben Ish Chai. You can't have both. It's a tartar disaster. You can't have both. But I think Rabbi said there's one exception. There's one exception. You could have Olam Hazeh, you can have Olam Habo. And that is Rabbi Sai, Toivli Torah Spicho Malfi Zov Chesed. If the person is oiche to have the Tama Torah, the Simchas HaTorah, the Simchas HaTorah provides Gashmias Dige Hanoah, physical Hanoah. It's not just Olam Habo, Avada the Torah Kadosh will give you the greatest Olam Habo in the next world, but this world, the greatest Simcha that a person could have is the enjoyment of Torah. It's enjoyment of Olam Hazeh. And this is something that Rechaim HaKadosh says in Parashat Kisova. He says, V'somachtu b'chol ha'toiv, ein toiv el ha'toirah. V'somachtu b'chol ha'toiv. What is the kol ha'toiv? What is the kol ha'toiv? Ein toiv el Torah. And he says the following. Listen. Shem hoye b'nei yodom margishim ne'imois u'mesikot v'aregot ha'torah. If people have the schus to be margish, the sweetness, the pleasantness of Torah, hoye mishtagim. They go out of their mind. They become addicted. Today we know in the world what addiction means. The Torah Kadosh can also become an addiction. Because the pleasure and the hanoah that you get from Torah is something Shimhoy ben Yodam Agishim Zarchaim HaKodesh Lo Nechshav Be'einayim Meloi Oelbaum Kuloi Kesef Ezov L'Meuma. All the money in the world, if you're zoichet to the pleasure of Torah, all the money in the world would be nothing. He says, Ki HaTorah koileles kol hatoivim shebe'olam. So we have the Torah, you have the Kesef Ezov, also you have everything. When it comes to the pleasure of this world, you have to give up something. It's never perfect. If you plan a fantasy vacation, wherever it is, l'chol hapachot can cost you a lot of money. So you want to enjoy this world, it costs you money. So you have to give up money in order to enjoy. But when you choose Torah instead of something else, you're not giving up. You know why? Because when you choose Torah, the Torah has that also. So somebody says, you know what? I gave up golfing for Torah. Instead of going bowling, you didn't lose it. Why? Because in the Torah you have not only the Noach Torah, the Torah is kolelet kol hatovish shebe'olam. So you have the golfing, you have the bowling, all types of the worldly entertainment you have in the Torah itself. That's the godless of Torah. There is something that we, of course, they have to be zoicher. This new Sefer Torah Rabotai is Torah Shebiksav. Torah Shebiksav. But the special simcha that this Torah has, because the Hachnasat of this Sefer Torah is in this Beit HaKnesset, Rohaim Berosh Harav, we're going to have Sadka with a Marabis Torah, who teaches Torah many hours a day. What does he teach? He teaches Gemara, he teaches Torah Shebaal Peh. So this Torah now, coming to this base Midrash, is a combination, is a tziruf of Torah Shebiksav together with Torah Shebaal Peh. The Torah Shebiksav has an extra simcha, because it's not going to be living during Kodesh, Rabbi Zayim. The Torah Kedosh is the Torah's Chaim over here, because the people live the Torah. They learn the Torah. And they learn the Torah Shebaal Peh, which together combines the Shleimut HaTorah. They both Torah Shebiksav and Torah Shebaal Peh. And therefore, when people dance around with the Sefer Torah, what does that mean? You're dancing with the Sefer Torah, you're happy with the Torah, very nice. Question, is the Torah happy with you? That you have to ask yourself. Yeah, we dance. But in this Beis Midrash, it's a simcha b'keflayim. It's a simcha in both levels. Not only are we dancing the Torah to show how happy we are, the simcha that we have with the Torah is also happy with us over here. That this is the place, the Torah is not simply lying in Doron Kodesh. The Torah is being taken out. Every day the Torah is being learned. And that's a tremendous chus and extra, of course, Simchas HaTorah. So I'm a Messiah like this. The Shiva of Baltimore, Rav Ruderman, the Chayim Rocha, when he was 13 years old, he went to Slobodka. Shiva Slobodka. And he had made a Kabbalah that by Pesach time will be Messiah Shas. Interesting. He already started before. Interesting. At the age of 13, 14. It's going to be Messiah Shas, he said, by Pesach time. So this was after Sukkot, when one Cheshvan. And the telegram came to the altar of Slobodka that he lost his father. He lost his father. The altar of Slobodka did not tell him, because he was afraid that if he finds out he lost his father, so the tsar and the pain of the Avelus will block him from being able to complete Shas. So the altar of Slobodka did not tell him until 5-6 months later, Pesach time, when he made a Siyum Shas. After that, the altar of Slobodka told him, I want you to know that you lost your father. Communication then is not like today. In 1 minute, information goes across the world. He didn't know. He says, Rebbe, 5 months ago I lost my father. I was not able to say the Kaddish. And Rosh Yeshiva said, your Shas is more important than the Kaddish. So if you want to make a schut for our parents, and you want to do things that Yilu Nishmatzom in order that the Neshama should be able to go higher and higher, more than the Kaddish Rabotai, this is the Hachnasat Sefer Torah. This is the Sefer Torah, this is the highest level. To be able to be Mizaka our parents, they should be able to be Zoichet, continue to go higher and higher. That is a tremendous chus. To combine the two Neros together, the Ner Hashem Nishmas Olam the neshama of our parents together with the ner mitzvah of the Torah or. And I want to tell you, Rabbi Apian once pointed out, you know what it means, ner mitzvah of the Torah or? He said it over nifla. He said a housewife could have 100 candles. A housewife could have 100 candles. But if she does not have a match, then the 100 candles are not worth anything. She can't light the candles. The Rabbi Apian, ner mitzvah, a mitzvah is like a ner. But the Torah is the or, the Torah is the match that lights the mitzvahs. Without Torah, the mitzvahs are not burning. Not everybody knows that. If they learn the mitzvahs, it's okay, so I'm not learning Torah. But I'm doing a lot of mitzvahs. But realize the mitzvah is like a ner. If you don't have the match to light the ner, then the ner is not going to provide light. It's the Torah that provides the light. So now through the Zchus Torah, there's Hashem and the commitment, dedication to learning Torah. So now not only you will have the extra mitzvah and extra pleasure that Torah is able to give you, but also all of your mitzvahs now will begin to burn and begin to shine. Because the Torah is the or. It is the or that lights the mitzvahs. The brachas of Sadka Shlita should be zoichet to be mamshich. In Zavoidus HaKodesh. Doch Simcha v'Nachas. Doch Beis HaGuf HaNefesh. Many years to be able to continue over here in the Kehillah to be Marbis Torah. And to bring the Birchas HaTorah to all of us. That Hashem should all be zoiche. The Banim B'nei B'nei Moiskim Torah B'mitzvah. Doch Simcha v'Nachas. Shefa Broch HaSocha Beis HaGuf.